Honest communication is a love language. Because if you are not honestly communicating and receiving honest communication, hello, welcome to Authentically Aligned, a wellness podcast where we speak on all things wellness, from fitness and nutrition to meditation and mindfulness, healing, growth, self-help, and so much more. If you are a new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for your love and support. And I want you to know that I am sending you that same love and support right back. On today's episode, we are talking about the courage that it takes to show up as your authentic self. And in true fashion, we are talking about what it feels to be authentically aligned, what it means to be authentically aligned in the way that you show up in your connections and your relationships and the way that you speak your truth. It's about having the courage to show up for yourself, be authentically yourself, even when it risks rejection. A theme that has been really powerful for me recently is the allowing of others to show up based upon your truth, based upon your vulnerability, your reality. Taking the time to allow others to show up knowing that you're being your true, authentic self. Giving others a chance to prove you wrong about the way that they will show up. So through this episode, I invite you and I challenge you to stop dimming yourself in order for acceptance and to trust that your authenticity attracts everything that is meant for you. So what is authenticity? What does living in your truth and speaking your truth mean? This means living, showing up as the person that you truly are, without editing or changing or fixing yourself out of the need for approval, out of the need to be liked, out of the need to be wanted, out of the need to feel included or want to be invited. Showing up as your truest self, recognizing that as you do this, there are naturally opportunities, people, relationships, connections that are going to fall off, that are not going to be in alignment with the way that you show up. And I think that oftentimes we struggle with showing up and being our true self and giving everything we are and being vulnerable because it seems risky. But it is so important to recognize the times, the places, the instances, the circumstances in your life when you are showing up in a performative way rather than just being you. Turning on can be exhausting. Having to always be on or have this mask or have this facade of who you are is exhausting. But when you allow yourself to fully, truly be you and you surround yourself with people who you can be your true full self around, those are the people that you need to be surrounding yourself with. Recognizing how you feel around people that you know you feel safe in their energy and you can be 100% you. And then recognizing the difference in your energy when you're around people whom you have to think or act or turn on or work or be some type of way. And if you place yourself in these two instances, you will very quickly recognize that placing yourself around the people that are meant for you is going to give you energy. You're going to be fulfilled. You're going to be uplifted. And placing yourself around the people who are not meant for you is going to exhaust you. You are going to be depleted after you leave that instance. Living authentically and being true to yourself and speaking your truth and being in your truth is a natural filter. It quickly, easily, effortlessly filters out the things that are misaligned for you. It is a easy recognition of what is in alignment and what is not in alignment. So often we can't discern the things that are for us or the things that are not for us because we don't know if we are living in our truth, if we are showing up as our truest, fullest self, our most authentic self. The crazy thing is that there is this paradox because living in your truth, being vulnerable, being who you are, speaking up, showing all of these things feels so risky. But the reality is that this risk that you take of being vulnerable and showing up for yourself is what creates genuine, authentic, real, true connection. It creates the connection that we all thrive and desire for. But if you're not allowing yourself to show up in these ways, you're not allowing yourself to ever experience a genuine connection. You're not allowing yourself to experience being liked for exactly who you are, being liked for the ways that you show up in this and the ways that you show up here and the ways that you do certain things here. And even though it's weird, that is who you are. So as scary as it may seem, as hard as it may seem, as much work as it may take in order to show up as your authentic, true self, the more and more that you allow yourself to do this, the more that you are creating a genuine, authentic life. You know that the people in your life are there because they want to be around you. Everything that you are to your being. When you show up in a workplace, in an environment as your true, authentic self, you are accepted for who you are. And you don't have to walk in the door and turn a mask on and be anything that you're not. But I think that a lot of us in our world today are walking through life in zombie mode. Walking through life disconnected because we have placed ourselves in environments, in situations, in relationships where we cannot show up as our authentic selves. And this creates a disconnect internally. It creates a disconnect in your nervous system. It creates a disconnect in your mind-body connection. It creates a disconnect in who you believe that you are. Because if you're not showing up as your authentic self, do you know who you are? Everything is a practice. And the more that you practice putting on a mask, showing up as this inauthentic version of yourself, whether it be in a relationship, to go to work or whatever, you're practicing that. And your body, your mind, your spirit begin to believe these things about yourself. Your body is so intelligent. Your body has so much inner knowing. And when you are showing up in ways that are not true to you, your body starts to feel that and believe that. And this is so often where these limiting beliefs come from. This is why we hold on to the beliefs of others, knowing full well they are not our beliefs, but because we have allowed ourselves to show up in a specific way, now others' beliefs begin to become the truth. And until you take control and until you take action and show up as your authentic self and get to know who your authentic self is, you are going to continue to be open to taking on the beliefs of others. You know, we as humans are on a constant journey. From the day that we are born to the day that we die, we are on a consistent, constant journey. We're on a journey of evolution. We're on a journey of growth, of learning, of healing, of expanding. And recognize that this is a forever thing. We are forever growing. We are forever healing. We are forever changing. So oftentimes we want to show up into a situation as the healed version of ourselves, as the best version of ourselves, as the most connected version, the most truthful version of ourselves. And so we feel that we can't show up vulnerably, truthfully, because we feel like we haven't reached this point of healing or learning or growth, and we're not where we would like to be. So we tend to put on a mask or a facade because we know that we would like to be better. We would like to be doing better. But because you are forever on this journey of growth, if you are never showing up as your authentic self because you want to be healed or you want to come correct, you are never going to be your authentic self because you are always growing. There is always going to be that next point, and you're always going to be working and striving for that next point. And if you're waiting for that moment to show up as your true, genuine, authentic self, that moment will never come. And if you never allow that moment to come, you are never going to breed genuine, real, true, authentic connection. You are not giving yourself the chance. You are not giving others the chance to see you for who you are. Authenticity means showing up where you are now. It doesn't mean pretending that you're somewhere else. And with the rise of social media, everybody loves to pretend that they're somewhere else. Everybody loves to pretend that they are in certain phases or places or whatever it is. And we've gotten so accustomed to seeing others do these things that now this generation, this time and space of humanity is forever just trying to prove and be better and be in another space rather than just being in the space that you're in. Recognizing the blessings that you have and all of the things in your life that have brought you to this moment today make you exactly who you are. Your story, your traumas, your experiences, everything that you have been through make you exactly who you are today. And that is such a beautiful thing. And when you're able to show up as that and say, yes, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. These things I'm not proud of. These things have made me better. I've grown from these things. This is where I am today. You create truth, vulnerability, and through those things, you create peace inside yourself. Not only that, but you create a space for others. You create a safe space for others to show up as their authentic self because they respect you. They respect where you've been. They respect where you are, and they respect where you're going. But if you're not sharing that, there's no room for them to share their truths, their mistakes, their vulnerabilities, their goals, their process, their achievement. There is such a disconnect between people, community, humanity, because we have created a disconnect within ourselves by living inauthentically. And what a beautiful thing to have genuine, authentic relationships, connections, environments where you can be so raw and real, and you're not having to only show the highlights of who you are. Because you are loved, you are valued, you are appreciated, you are respected for everything that you are, not just for the good things about you, not just for your successes or your accolades. You are valued for everything that you are. But this comes with the risk of being vulnerable. If you are not providing vulnerability, rawness, realness, you are not giving others the opportunity to love you for your imperfections. This requires the courage to be disliked. Having courage to show up as your true self and say, you know what? It is okay if I walk into this room, if I am a part of this connection and this person does not like me. We think that rejection and being disliked is the enemy. But rejection, being disliked, being unaccepted, all of these things are blessings because they are showing you the things that are meant for you and the things that are not meant for you. When we are so focused on if people like us or if people are going to accept us, we are living in a place of ego. We're living in a place where our ego cannot handle the idea that somebody doesn't like us. But why in the world would you want everybody to like you? You don't like everybody. So why would you want everybody to like you? Naturally, the way that you show up, the way that you spread your light, the way that you spread your truth, speak your peace, share your vulnerabilities, these things are absolutely going to attract people, and these things are absolutely going to repel people. And both are blessings. If you are repelling people from your energy, your spirit, the way that you show up, why in the world would you want those people in your life? They're not in alignment with you. They're not meant for you. And maybe we don't see that now, but recognizing further down the line that this was such a blessing, because if I would have surrounded myself with those people, I would be in a much different place. I'm so grateful for the people that I have surrounded myself with, because look at all of the places that I'm in. Look how I can show up as my authentic self, and look how many genuine, authentic opportunities and blessings this has brought to my life. The fear of being disliked often comes with the fear of not having belonging. But if you are not showing up as you, being you, and you're accepted or you belong, do you actually belong in that place? No, you're performing to belong in this place. You're pretending, you're putting on, you're covering up so that you belong in this place. This place is not meant for you. This place is not meant for you. And what is so interesting is your body is going to tell you, but 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, you're not going to listen to it. These come up in things like anxiety, worry, stress, sickness. All of these things come up because you are in places that you do not belong, and you're trying to fit in. You're trying to belong. You're trying to create a space where there is no space for you. But when you accept that not everybody is going to like you, you create space for those who are and will and do. Having these honest conversations, showing up honestly, showing up authentically, is going to breed such a peace in you. And it's not going to be an easy thing, because we are so used to trying to want to fit in, to want to belong here, to want to belong here, to want people to like us, to not let people down. But as you are working so hard to keep a mask on, to not let somebody down, you're letting yourself down 10 times more. And the second that you show up honestly and you say, you know what? I can't do that. This is great, but this is not for me. You start to build trust within yourself. Your body, your mind, your spirit begin to trust you, knowing that you have your best interest at heart and you are not going to fall out of anything that isn't in full alignment with you. Speaking your truth in all of your relationships, connections, work environments, acquaintances. Speaking your truth is your power. It really, truly is your superpower because it allows you to fully embody and embrace the essence, the aura, the character, the representation of you. Oftentimes, we discredit the people who love and care about us, the people who we have chosen to be in our lives for a reason. We discredit them. And we think that if we show up or we share something with them or they see this version of us, they're not going to love us the same. They're not going to show up the same. They're not going to this. They're not going to this. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be ashamed, upset. But you don't know this until you place yourself in that situation, speaking your truth, living your truth, being your truth. Otherwise, these relationships, these connections are not as real, as genuine as you think that they are. I have a perfect instance of recent where I was holding back some things in a connection that I have. And I was terrified of what this person would think when they knew this about me. I think that in the back of my mind, there was part of me that thought that if they knew this, they wouldn't respect me. They would see me in a lesser light, see me differently. And you know what is so crazy is the moment that I had this conversation and I showed up vulnerably and I shared my piece and I spoke my truth, it was the most freeing moment. And as I had that moment, it allowed me the recognition, the peace, the confidence to show up that exact way in every other aspect of my life. Recognizing that if these things are going to fall off, these things are not meant for me. Honest communication is a love language. Because if you are not honestly communicating and receiving honest communication, can love exist? The idea of only showing somebody parts of you means that you are not allowing somebody the opportunity to love you, to care for you, to respect you, to value you. Because it's not your choice what they think about you. It's their choice. But if you're not giving them the choice, there isn't authenticity. So often we ask people to be honest and open and vulnerable with us so that we can make a choice. But are we doing the same? Are we reciprocating that same thing? How are you showing up authentically in your relationships, in your friendships? How are you showing up authentically with your family? How are you showing up authentically in your workspace? Being honest about the capacity that you have. Being honest about the things that you can take on and the things that you cannot take on, and recognizing that if you can't take something on, that does not make you any less valuable. Speaking your truth sets a standard for your relationships. If from the jump you are this, and this, that is the standard. The standard is honesty, integrity, vulnerability, peace. And if you're showing up in this way, it allows the other person to feel safe, to feel open to do the same. And then the truth, the honesty, the authenticity has the capability to be reciprocated. A reminder that silence protects the wrong things. Silence protects your ego. Silence protects the inauthenticity of yourself. If you are staying silent in an instance where your blood is boiling, or you're feeling a gut feeling, or you know better, you are doing yourself a disservice. And you are not showing up as your authentic self. And like I said, in making all of these decisions to show up authentically, you are breeding confidence within yourself. Each time you make a decision to be truthful with yourself and with somebody else, you are creating a trust and a confidence within you to show up, to be, to accept exactly who you are in this moment. You recognize that you can show up as you are and still feel safety and security. You recognize that as you show up, as you feel this safety, it breeds the most sense of peace, of comfort, of contentment possible. And allowing yourself the space to trust what comes. Have faith in the acceptance and have faith in the rejection, knowing that both are leading you to exactly where you are meant to be. They are leading you to the exact people that are supposed to be in your life. They're leading you to the exact purpose and calling that you have upon your life. Being vulnerable enough, trusting yourself enough, having enough confidence in others to show them who you are without fear of rejection, without fear of embarrassment, and without expecting acceptance. Like I said, not everybody is going to like you, and that is okay. It's okay because authenticity breeds genuine connection. It creates space for the people around you to be real and vulnerable because you are being real and vulnerable. True connection requires mutual vulnerability. If there is only vulnerability on one end, it doesn't create true connection. True connection comes when two people can live in their truth and share their truth and see each other exactly as who they are and have love, respect, value, and care for that person. Authentic relationships are peaceful. They feel lighter. They feel safer. They feel more expansive. And they have room for expansiveness. They have room for growth. There is no ceiling because as two people who are consistently evolving, there is never a ceiling. When two people are honest with themselves and then honest with each other, there's no ceiling because there's constant room for growth and evolvement and change and understanding. And this doesn't just apply to intimate relationships. This applies to any connection you might breed. It applies to connections that maybe you've had for years and you haven't been able to show up vulnerably, but now you decide to do that. You decide to take this connection to the next level, to a real, genuine, authentic level. This could happen in the workplace. Imagine how expansive things could be if people just showed up as themselves in the workplace. There's so much more room for growth when you can show up in your truth and allow others to do the same. And thinking about it in a long-term sense, authenticity is sustainable. Performing, turning on, putting on a mask is exhausting and it's not sustainable. And I believe this is why connection is so difficult. connection so quickly, so easily fades because there is some type of performance that is happening. And eventually, you get tired of performing. You get tired of turning on. You get tired of having to be on all the time. And when that happens, a connection fades. Rather than having peace, safety, understanding, energy as you move truthfully through any connection. As we close out this episode today, I want to encourage you to show up more authentically this week. I want to encourage you to stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself, speak your truth, even in small instances. I have a journal prompt and an affirmation for you to help you to step into your authenticity this week. The journal prompt is, where in my life am I still hiding parts of myself in order to be accepted? And the affirmation that I want to leave you with today is, I am worthy of relationships that honor the real me. Show up as your real, true self. Take time to be vulnerable, to be open, and to allow others the safety and security to do the same. I am sending you so much love and light this week. Have a beautiful week.